What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of the Bulking Diary. So, if you didn't watch in my last video, this is going to be my new bulking series, and this is going to run through until about March of next year before I start cutting for Summer Shredding 2020. So, quick footnote before we talk about the actual workout at hand. This video has gone up a little bit later than I had intended. It's gone up. The time you're watching this will be the second week of my bulk. It was meant to go up in the first, but I've had a hectic week, so I've not really been able to get around to editing it. But the next episode has already been recorded and edited on the same day that this is being recorded, so expect it a lot sooner. Onto the workout. So, starting off with my push session. Every workout at the moment, I'm absolutely fucking loving, but bench is going to be something that I'm going to be aiming to improve week to week, more specifically, the barbell bench. So at the moment, this workout that you're seeing right now, I managed, for the first time ever, to get 3 sets of 8 reps. Now, this is the second set you're seeing at the moment. If you rewind when I'm doing the intro, the first set flew up. I'd say an RPE, 7. This, I'd say an RPE, maybe 8. In the third set, I did have to... I think I rested for the last 2 reps, 7 and 8, but I did pull out all 8 reps. Now, when bulking, the way we build muscle, there's 2 factors that we have to consider. The first one is nutrition, which I'll speak about at the end of this video, which is all about eating in a surplus of calories. So you've got your maintenance, your TDEE, so how many calories you need to maintain your current weight. To build muscle, we need to put our body into an anabolic state, which is to just eat, let's say, 500 more calories than said amount. So if your maintenance is 2,000, eat up to 2,500. You put your body into an anabolic state. You will gain fat alongside it, but the more calories you add on, the more fat that you'll gain alongside it. And something that I will talk about later on in future episodes is dirty bulking and lean bulking and the differences. But for rule of thumb, 300 to 500 calories, boom, you're sorted. The next thing we have to factor into is our training. Now, we can't just go into the workouts lifting the same weight for the same reps for the same amount of sets week to week, because we're not going to promote muscle growth. We're not going to promote or put our body under the stimulation to, or under the stress to stimulate muscle growth. So this is where progressive overload comes into play, and it's something you need to apply to all of your training. Every exercise, more specifically compound movements, which is what I'm focusing on, but every workout, every exercise, all the time. Now, progressive overload is just increasing the total volume of weight that you lift week to week. That can be by adding in extra reps, doing an extra set, or commonly, what most people commonly do, adding additional weight. So, let's break this down. You just saw me bench 3 sets of 8 reps with 100 kilos on my first movement, barbell bench press. Next week, I'm taking it up to 105, and I'm going to be aiming around 6 to 8 reps for 3 sets. Now, if I only manage to get 3 sets of 6 reps, which is what I'm aiming for on that workout, I will not increase the weight because I cannot get to the 8th rep. What I'll do is just try to get an extra rep for the next session. So maybe the next week I'll do 105 kilos for a set of 7, set of 6, and a set of 6. So I've gone from doing 3 6s to a 7 and 2 6s. That's progression. We've put our body under it would be under more pressure, more stress than we did the week before, because we've added an additional rep on. Now, I can do this until I hit 3 sets of 8 reps, and then again, I'll bump the weight up. So I'm progressively overloading workout to workout through the increased number of reps. I usually don't add on an extra 4th set just because the laws of diminishing returns. Just because you do more doesn't mean you get more out of it. So I'll stick it at 3, especially for compound movements, and I will add on extra reps and just go to 8 reps, maybe 10. Now, if it gets to a point where I can get 8 reps for 105 for 3 sets, but the next week I can't even get 107.5 kilos to and I bump the weight up to 107.5 kilos, and I can't even get, let's say, 3 sets of 6 out of it. I'll get a set of 4, and another set of 4. What I'll do is then I'll just go back to 105, and I'll either increase the time under tension, so perform slower reps, 3 to 4 second negatives, maybe put paused reps in, or I'll just bump the reps up to 10 and then go from there. So if you're finding you've hit a plateau and you can't really increase the weight, take it back down, paused reps, slow negatives, just put your body under more stress. Time under tension is also a good way of increasing metabolic stress, and it is a form of progressive overload. So just keep that in mind. When bulking, you need to be in a surplus you need to be in a surplus of calories, and you also need to be training with progressive overload in mind. Now, next, at some point, I am going to break down a workout, but it's just obviously I need to put a lot of information out to you guys at the start so we know what we're doing. But in one of the next 2 videos, I will be breaking down a workout in person. But anyway, this commentary is coming to an end. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in the next clip. There is no better way to start your morning off than it being raining and fucking dark. This is one thing that I do not like about winter. Not only the fact that it's fucking cold, and I do not bear well when it's cold, but it's dark when you wake up, it's dark when you go to work, it's dark when you go to the gym, and it's dark when you finish everything and try and socialise afterwards. Because look at this. It's ridiculous. It's raining. It's 7 o'clock, for Christ's sake. 7 o'clock. Anyway, that's me complaining. Good morning. Welcome to the video. Welcome to episode 1 of the Bulking Diary, or the Bulking Diaries. I don't know what the total is going to be yet. Workout done. Complete success. Benched 100 kilos for 3 sets of 8. Haven't done that fucking ever. So next workout, which is going to be next Monday, so my next barbell focused chest workout, 105, man. 105. I'm well excited. This bulk is going to be absolutely incredible, but one thing that I'm going to have to get used to is the increase in food. So for the past few days, I haven't done the commentary for this workout yet, and I may include this in, but I've increased my calories steadily, and it's the comfortability of eating a lot more. I've spent the last 3 years consistently eating below 2,000 calories. So I've just been bringing it back up to maintenance and then eating above that. So I'm feeling a bit full. I can't drink a full Monster without feeling bloated, so that's going to save me a shit ton. I realised the other day that I spend like half my car insurance a year on Monsters. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, workout done. I'm about to go to work now and do a full day's worth of work, post some shit on Instagram, and then I'll catch up with you guys in the next clip after I finish work. My arm's aching. Peace. Good morning. Right, so today is Thursday, and the last clip that you guys saw, which if I remember correctly, was me outside of the gym after doing my bench session, which was on Monday. So it's been a few days since I've recorded. I'm a terrible vlogger, but this series is hopefully going to help me record more. I want to document everything throughout this bulk, which brings me on to the topic of this week's video, so episode 1, and that's me breaking down my bulking plan to you guys. We're talking cardio, weight training, calories, everything, and I've got my weight board, and we're going to get into it now. This thing is legit bigger than me. Okay, so let's start with nutrition. Now, my maintenance calories, so the calories that I would need to eat to maintain my current weight of about 64 to 65 kilos, is around 2,000 to 2,100. So, in order to lose weight, whenever I would go on a diet, it would be subtract 250, 500 calories away from that. That puts you in a catabolic state of breakdown, how we lose weight. But this time, I'm bulking, so it's adding on additional calories to put you in a surplus. So for the foreseeable months until March, when this bulk ends, I'm going to be eating around 2,500 calories. That's a surplus of 400 calories. Now, I'm going to see how this plays out for the first month, because although increasing calories does lead to increased weight, which can lead to increased strength, it's not always correlated. So at some point, increasing your calories too much won't be as beneficial as just raising them by a minuscule amount. So 400 seems about right at the moment. If I start to gain a little bit too much fat without gaining additional strength to compensate along with that, then I'm just going to bring the calories down, continue to increase strength but minimize fat gain throughout it as well. So breaking that down into my macros, that's 2,500 calories in total. Now if we break that down to a macronutrient standpoint, these being your protein, carbs and fats, they're a little bit different to how I had them when I was dieting, and let me explain. So when I was dieting, it was keep the protein up high to keep me fuller for longer, keep carbohydrates as high as I possibly could, to give me more energy and fuel my workouts, and fat just stayed at 20% because that's the bare minimum that you need or require. 20% of your overall calories should come from fat as bare minimum. But this time we're reversing it because I'm not dieting, because my body's not breaking down fat and muscle as fuel because of the decrease in calories. I don't need as much protein. So this time round, instead of having 1 to 1.2 grams, I think it was 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which put me at like 150, 160. I've taken it down to 125, which works out at 0.9-ish grams of protein per pound of body weight at my current weight at the moment. That will change. This is going to be a rolling change. The heavier I get, that number will come up along with my overall calorie intake, but we'll touch on that when it happens. So anyway, protein makes up 20% of my overall calorie intake. Next, we're going on to fats. So fats, I've taken up a little bit. I could bring this down to only 20% and put the remaining onto carbohydrates, but I like bacon, I like sausages, I like beef, I like eggs. So I want to increase my fat a little bit more, just to have a few nicer foods like ice cream, cakes, and all the stuff that I just mentioned. So at the moment, that is sitting at 69 grams per day. I was going to say per pound of body weight. 69 grams makes out 25% of overall calorie intake comes from fats. Now, if at any point through this bulk, or throughout this bulk, I find myself struggling to hit this number but going over on my carbohydrates, I'll just take all 5% and add it onto carbohydrates. I can bring my fats down to 20%. That will only be around like 60 grams of fat anyway, which is still a lot, more than I have had. Right, I've made a mistake. That brings us on to carbs. These are going to be the main source of my calories for the next 4 months, and that works out with the remaining of what's left at 345 grams of carbs per day. I have never had that many carbs on a non-binge day in my life, so I'm excited. But all of this is how I'm going to be structuring my diet and nutrition over the next 4 months. Again, like I said, protein will keep changing depending on how heavy I get. So the heavier that I get, protein will go up, fats will come up, and so will carbs. Protein is all going to be dependent on body weight though. These are based on percentages. And as I get heavier, my calories are going to increase ever so slightly, but I should not see them getting more than 2,700. If it's more than that, I've probably gained a bit too much weight. So that's the nutrition side of it. Now let's talk about training. This is the part that I'm really excited about getting into. Now, if you followed my Instagram or watched this channel for a while, you'd notice 2 things. 1, I'm consistently inconsistent. Thank you, Max. And 2, I've never actually went on an official bulk. I've yo-yo dieted. So I would start at a really heavy weight, I would diet down, get really lean, but because I've deprived myself of so many calories and done so much cardio and all this shit, I would then rebound back up to where I was, if not sometimes higher, and gain more weight, and then realise that I want to lose weight again and diet back down, and then the cycle repeats. And I've done that for about 2.5 years. And at this point, I may have mentioned it in another video, or last video, but at this point I just want to, it's winter, so I'm not bothered about putting on a little bit of extra weight or being ripped or being lean. I'm fed up of being as small as I am for how long I've trained. I've been training for about 4 or 5 years now, and I do not look like it. I have the knowledge for it, but I do not look like it. So you know what, we'll embrace the fluff and the extra weight and the fat, and we'll get into training and actually building some muscle. But that brings us on to the training portion of my plan. So at the moment I am running a 6-day training program, which is a push, pull, legs, arms, upper, lower training split. 2 seconds. And this is the training program that I am running. This is a 6-day training split, which is following that routine, push, pull, legs, arms, upper, lower, that is available on my website for you to purchase. As well as this, I do have a 3, 4, and 5-day training program, along with a 4-day female training program. But basically, this has everything you are going to need in it. Literally everything. It's got nutrition guidelines, so if you need to know how many calories you're eating for either weight loss, bulking, or maintenance, it's on there. All averages. You got both male and female ones for that. You've got FAQs, so if you can't get in contact with anyone, me for example, or anyone else to ask questions, they're going to be on there. It's got a welcome, which just explains what's going on the program. Program index, which tells you everything it has in it. Then it gives you your routine layout here. So this is what I'm doing at the moment. And then finally, it just has the whole program breakdown along with alternative exercises and then some ab routines to mix in there as well. The way that would work is Monday, I would train my chest, shoulders, triceps. Tuesday, I would train back and biceps. Wednesday is legs. Then Thursday would be a full arm day, so it's front and side delts along with biceps and triceps. And then I would do an upper body day, which is focusing on back and chest, and then I would focus on legs on the Saturday. Now, I may put in on a Sunday, use it as an active recovery day and do deadlifts on that day. I'm not too sure about it yet. I want to increase my deadlift as we get into in a minute, but it's on the table of whether I want to train 7 days a week. I can, technically, because now I'm not dieting, there is less risk for injury because I've got a lot more energy in me through a higher carb intake, but again, it's whether I can be bothered. Now, there are some milestones that I want to hit on this bulk as well. So I would like to hit a 140 bench press, 200 deadlift, and a 180 squat. Conveniently, I'm 15 kilos away from each one of these lifts. I'm at 125 bench, 185 deadlift, and 165 squat. I did, however, try a 170 kilo squat and failed. Now, bearing in mind, all of these were done while being in a deficit. So, give me a month, I could hit potentially more than these, but I'm not going to train my 1 rep maxes a month after just trying them. For me, there's no point. I'd much rather try them at the end of my bulk. So, that's looking good. So, I'm only 15 kilos away from each of them, where if you think about it, I've got 4.5 months of a bulk, and I need to increase 15 kilos on each of these lifts. That's less than 5 kilos added a month, which is realistic considering that I've improved on my bench already and I'm going up 5 kilos on that after the first day. So I'll keep you updated with that. We will go over my 1 rep maxes at some point. I may do a breakdown video of my previous ones before we do my new ones, just to talk about like what I thought, what I was thinking, where I was going wrong, or do a comparison video. It's in the books. We may do it. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about on this is cardio. Like, am I still doing cardio? The answer is yes. My form of cardio for the next 4 months is just going to be trying to keep active and get 10,000 steps in per day. I've been doing it for the last week just to get myself ready for not doing as much cardio anymore, and it's really good. I'm feeling really energetic. And that's going to be how I'm getting my main source of cardio at the moment, because at the end of the day, I will use cardio, like the machines, if, for example, I'm going out drinking or I'm going for a meal. I'll eat a high protein, low carb, low fat diet throughout the day to a bit of cardio at the gym, on a Stairmaster or on a treadmill, just to actually burn those calories a lot quicker. But other than that, if it's just a normal typical day, I'm just going to try and hit 10k steps per day. That's more than enough to be active, or to be an active individual, because as well as that, I am training 6 times a week, and I do work a 40-hour-a-week job, or 38-hour-a-week job, which is fairly active at times. So I'm going to be moving enough, especially with the amount of weight that I'm going to be lifting. I'm going to be burning a lot of calories. Now, as for like full days of eating and meals, and just showing you what I'm doing alongside all of this, I will be showing you that, like doing like full days of eating videos. But that is the game plan. We've got weights that we want to hit, so we have something we're working towards. We want to get bigger. I would say there's a specific area of my body that I want to grow, but I just want to grow all over. big legs, big arms, big chest, maybe big traps. That's something I've always considered. I once saw a guy at a gym with massive fucking traps, and it looked insane. So maybe that's on the books. But like I said, I'll keep up to date with all of you guys about all of this stuff. If you're not following my Instagram, link down in the description to get any updates, because obviously if I'm posting one YouTube video a day, I'm posting 14 posts a week. No, if I'm posting one video a week on YouTube, I'm doing 14 posts a week minimum on Instagram. So make sure you're keeping up to date with that to find like mini updates and shit. I story a lot now. So that's the game plan. It's looking good. It's looking enjoyable. I cannot wait to just fucking eat more. Well, I say I cannot wait. I have been doing it and it's been fucking amazing. One of my favourite meals already is toasted waffles, low calorie ice cream as well, Halo top, and then some like Maltesers put on top of it. It all melts together and it's like 600 calories. So it's going to be amazing. And then hopefully next time we diet down for Summer Shredding 2020, I'll be a bigger motherfucker than I am now. So remember last time when I did this show, I typically am the most athletic looking, a modest way of saying the biggest muscular one of my friends. So to me, I was always under the illusion that I was relatively big until I did a bodybuilding show and met 15 other people that were just as small as I am, but twice the fucking size. That really lit a fire under my ass. So the plan is to come first. Touch wood. Anyway, that's going to bring this video to an end. I've got to go edit this now, make a thumbnail, which I have no idea what I'm going to use for it at the moment. And then I've just got a bit of work to do, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Have a good one.